Hello everybody! Back today with another Battle Brothers guide. Today I'm going to be looking through how to start a campaign and the things you should be looking for to make your early game not so torturous. The very early game is absolutely the hardest part of this game. Like your first 20 days when you have no accuracy, no loot, and you're fighting like a couple of brigand raiders, those are the really hard things, and you're going to get a lot of guys dying. Or you'll fight like 5 dire wolves and you'll just get completely party wiped. So I'm gonna try and make this a little easier because I remember when I first started this, I was like, man, this game fucking sucks. It's so hard. But with I didn't really know what I was doing. So now that hopefully if you guys know what you're doing, it won't be so bad. Alright, so we're gonna do new campaign. You can see all these options here. If you don't have DLC, you will only see rebuilding a company and a new company. The difference is there is a tutorial battle in rebuilding a company, and new company just doesn't have that battle. So we'll do rebuilding a company. Next, alright, so you have your name, you have your cool little flag, you have permanent destruction, and so in some of the late game crises, orcs or undead will raise settlements, and I don't like that. I like to play long campaigns, and if one of the cities gets outed in like day 100, that's just really annoying. So I wouldn't turn this on. I wouldn't turn it on for your first campaign either. So, speaking of late game crises, these will start around like day 80 to 100. They'll happen, and then you'll solve them, and then they'll cycle in the next 80 days or so. The easiest one to start with is Noble War, if you want to choose. I like going random, personally. But Noble War is the noble houses will just kind of fight each other, and then you can, who owns the settlements will change. Greenskin Invasion is orcs and goblins will work together to make your life hell. An Undead Invasion is undead will make your life hell. So I'm just going to go random. If you really want to choose and you want something easy, go Noble War. Well, easier compared to the other ones, go Noble War. Alright, next. Economic difficulty. This is how much contracts will pay you. Probably also something about daily wage. I'm not really sure how much you can carry, like tools and food and medical supplies. I keep this on easy or beginner just to lower the grind. It's not like the game. I don't find the game more fun when I have to grind more myself. I want contracts to pay me, so I don't have to just keep doing contracts and not going out and doing other stuff. I don't want to be tied to cities every single minute because they're doing contracts to go find a staff or go kill this fucking camp. Just like not my thing. And for the same reason, I like high starting funds. Just because I don't want to have to grind more early game than I have to. Unexplored map is just like the entire map will be Fog of War. I haven't tried that feature. I don't really want to. I kind of just again more grind. I just don't feel like it. Everyone knows what Iron Man is. I would not go Iron Man on your first campaign. Absolutely not, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna run into let's say you've never fought direwolves. You go into a direwolf fight. You don't know what they do, and they wipe you. You go, maybe I should have spear walled against that direwolf. So then you can reload a save, try a spear wall, and then say, oh, maybe that worked. I should do that in the future. Or you have Iron Man on, and then you just lose the campaign completely because you have never fought against direwolves, and it's not really your fault you lost. I don't put Iron Man on. Some people call it save scumming. I just think it's learning the game. Like, oh, okay. Like, that's not that big a deal to me. Combat difficulty absolutely has to be expert. You will not learn good tactics on beginner or veteran. You will play this game, you'll learn stuff, it won't be very good, then you'll play your next campaign on expert and you'll get bodied every single time. It's gonna suck being on expert when you don't know the game, there's a steep learning curve, but it's totally worth it in the long run to be on expert. Alright, I did kind of look through a seed with my name because I'm pretentious. A lot of these suck, this is just all caps if you ever want to play on this. Alright, let's start. So, you're going to start with 3 bros in this tutorial fight. You're going to have an archer, 1 guy who has 2 stars in melee attack and 1 star in melee defense, and then 1 guy who has really good stats and no stars. So, the archer is definitely worth saving in the long run. He's just a decent archer. This dude, I think it's the 2-hander, is the guy with the good stars. He's worth keeping. Yeah, this guy, like, he's okay. Like, he's got good stats, but he does no stars, so he has to either get really lucky on rolls, on level ups, or he's really, like, early game only. Alright, So what these two spawn with is random every single time. Now there's definitely a way to play this, but I'm gonna cheese this by pulling out a knife because I cannot lose this fight. It is literally impossible to lose this fight and have anyone die. So you're gonna pull out a knife, and then you're gonna use puncture and dagger everything these guys have. Now, hopefully they have better gear than, like, whatever this is, like 20 armor and a 10 hat. Like, this is really shit gear, but I'm just gonna explain this to you guys and see how this works. Yeah, this is pretty bad right here. Alright, so right now, we're seeing the beginnings of the morale system. So, let's look at this guy, morale here. Here we have steady. Steady is your normal. Then we have wavering, which is going to be minus 10% to all the following that we're going to see on breaking. Breaking is minus 20% resolve, melee skill, range skill, melee defense, range defense. So you're more likely to die and you're less likely to hit when you're breaking. When you are fleeing, you have minus 30% to all of these, and you lose your turns and will just start running away. Even if you're in zone of control, you'll just get hit. Now you can see this guy here is confident. Confident is plus 10% to all of the following except for resolve. So just melee skill, melee defense, range defense. So you do want to be confident. Alright, who do I have a better chance of stabbing? 14s and 15s? Jesus. Alright, I'm gonna move these guys into position so that when I end up not doing this the entire time because I can't be bothered for a tutorial video. Fucking hell. Alright. 14s. This is so bad. Alright. So, hypothetically, it might take you like 3 minutes, and these guys might have better gear, but this is what you're going to do. You should just dagger them all down. Alright, see, this guy's now wavering. One way to get better morale is to kill enemies, and it's really killing enemies. That's how you get your morale up. Losing morale can be from getting hit, seeing an ally die, having an enemy walk next to you. You can see this in the there's the wiki and then there's other in-game stats. Oh my gosh. It would be great if these guys would end up dying. So you can see why it would take a while to dagger everybody down, and these guys don't even have that good loot. There we go. Alright. So let's finish that fight. So be it. Alright, looked at the companions before. Alright, so looking at their mood. Mood is different from morale. Their mood, when they're dissatisfied, they can only have steady or worse. If they're lower than dissatisfied, they can only have wavering or worse. And the higher they go, the higher chance they have of starting as confident in the next battle. Alright, so talking about before, this dude here is good early game because 61 aim is really good and 9 melee defense is really good. But there's no stars here, so you could just roll ones a lot and kind of be done. Decent stats here overall. This guy, these are both pretty good. These are kind of shitty traits, but whatever. His stam is rather low and won't necessarily go up. So this guy has a low stam problem more than anything else and kind of low HP. This archer's alright. He's not particularly amazing, but he works. So we'll go. Alright, let's look at the map. So, looking at the map, what you want to see first, this is a decent enough map. One of the first things you want to look for is ports. We have a port down here in Blankenstadt, and then you have another port up here in Krakendorf. Now, the reason why ports are good is because if you want to spend like 200 gold, you could sail from here to here. And then you could run through, like I'm here, run through all these towns, buy all the trade goods, all the recruits, do all the contracts. And instead of running my ass up here, I can just use the port and fast travel. It's great. So you want to have good ports, top to bottom ports. And in a better sea, there'd probably be more than just 2. Like, there'd probably be more coastline, but so be it. The next thing you want to look for is the size of noble houses if you want to raid. One way to start this game is to raid small noble houses, like this one. This one only has 1 city. House Aldheim. So what I would do on this seed is I would just, if I see a trade caravan from this house or a noble army from this house, I would attack it. Because I get free loot, free gold upgrades, I lose standing and this faction will become hostile to me, but it's the only city. So I don't really care, because the rest of the map sure doesn't care. And at the end of the Noble War, which maybe is your first late game crisis, all hostile noble houses return to a non-hostile setting. So you could raid this guy, do the Noble War, and then you're back to it after. And after the first crisis, you maybe don't need to be raiding noble armies no more anyway, because you have decent enough gear. So then you're fine. Alright, the next thing you want to look at is you want to look at you want to look for those key buildings around villages. So right here, surface iron vein means you'll have a lot more weapons. Trappers is one of the trade goods, furs. There are trade goods you can buy. Alright, let's go to this city and you'll see what I'm talking about. So if I want to buy furs are worth 300. If I go to this city here. Alright, we have unfinished business. Yeah. Alright. So 303. I'll buy these trade goods just because. And then I'm gonna walk up to this city. Well, then I'll probably sell them for more and I'll make money. Other trade goods are like amber. You can probably find amber somewhere. Is that amber? No, that's another fur. Oh, here. Copper vein. That's like ingots. There's probably some other ones if I prep this more. There's salt mines. Yeah, here he goes. Oh, that's amber. Okay. So what you want to find is you want to find trade goods and then trade goods next to big cities. Like I want to get good relations here, get amber and sell it to this town here for a jacked up price. That's how you make money. Not a lot of money, but it's very good to just kind of do that to supplement your income. Other important things are blast furnaces. Let's try and find some probably down here. Yeah, blast furnaces means you'll have better armor, more high quality armor. Ore smelters means you'll have better weapons. Remember, the surface iron vein meant you'll have more types of weapons. And then in big towns like this, when there's more weapons and armor, it means better chances for legendaries to appear because, there's more of them. Other important things, I think I saw a hunter's cabin. Yeah, here we go, a hunter's cabin. Hunters are the best range class in the game. That's indisputable. So you want to find a good village like this with a hunter's cabin, so then you could go there and look for hunters, because hunters are just necessary for rangers. Wheat fields are also good, because wheat fields mean farmhands will spawn there, and farmhands are one of the best early game frontline classes, and early game frontline is going to be one of your big classes that you'll have. It's like dedicated builds to early game frontline, because they're just all going to die. What else am I thinking of? You got trade goods, you got classes. That seems to be about it. Alright, so let's look at this, let's go to this town here. Check the weaponsmith. This is the kind of things you would see in a big city, but we have the surface iron vein here, which means you get this big type of weapons. Alright, let's do some hires. Alright, we got a farmhand. I would roll on a wildman, but he's really expensive. Alright, and then let's walk up. Oh, also, let's look here. 202 tools is really good. Tools are worth 200. Probably also, I'll maybe buy some long-range food. So, the next thing, I'm going to talk about prices. Prices, every town has a buy modifier and a sell modifier. You can tell at that town we just came from, I bought tools for 200, or 202 rather, which is really, really fucking good. Because, here, 210, that's also really good, actually. Alright, and we're seeing the beginning of the trade good economy. Bought for 303, sell for 318. Definitely could just hold this, but this is, I'm just, like, kind of keeping this for, a tutorial, so I don't really care that much about the prices. Alright, so you can see that their buying price is not that terrible, but it's not as good as the previous one. So on some other cities, you'll find it's far, far worse. Like, you'll see tools for, like, 300 or something, and it's really not worth doing. Now, the way to gauge how good a selling price is to use a 100 gold piece item. So, if something is worth 3,000, you might see it sold for, like, 654. You're like, well, what the fuck does that mean? So, the easy way to do it is take this, like a round shield. A wooden shield is your easiest thing in the early game, but then you'll find stuff like goblin poison or holy water or magic mushrooms, and it's worth 100, and you can see it's worth 15. So I can sell for 15. At the previous city, I believe it was 16. So if I wanted to sell, I should go back there and do it. Good prices are if it's 18 and above, sell all your stuff there. If it's like 15 to 17, sell the stuff you need to make inventory space for this next city. And if it's 14 or below, it's really not worth selling at, unless it's just like garbage, like this knife that's worth 30. So going from 4 to 6 doesn't really mean much for you. Let's look at some recruits here. Brawlers, good. Other brawlers, good. Now, I probably want to hire an early game, like, fodder class. Just because, you know, you got bad stuff. Alright, so, looking at the guys. Probably also should buy somebody with some fucking equipment. Would never hire a deserter. But I'll hire this guy. I'll hire this guy because he has actually decent gear. Alright, so this dude is trash. Alright. Expendable. Alright, man, we got... This guy has good aim, so he's alright. Alright. Early front. He's got nothing else, so he's only good for attack. Alright, this guy's okay, this guy's okay. This guy is... meh. It's like not terrible. This guy is meh. And this guy is trash. Alright, he's trash. So, people who are bad. Bad people get the they get the shield and they get like a knife. Alright, off we go. Who did I want to keep? You're expendable. Alright, you're decent. So you're decent. I'll give you a pitchfork and I'll give you 10 armor. You go in the back here. 5. This dude's okay. He gets a spear. This dude's okay. He gets a dagger. Should probably get another weapon. But what I'm taking from this is the really bad people get the shields. Alright, here you go. Maybe give this guy a net as well. Alright, the bad people get the shields because you're throwing them in the horrible positions where they will die, so they need a shield to tank hits, essentially. So I haven't really rolled particularly well on dudes. I'll probably buy someone else. Maybe buy some gear. Alright. Oh yeah, I couldn't afford anything. Alright, let's buy, what should we buy? Let's buy a hat. Let's buy another knife. Spend 303 on a flail because I'm not using this campaign? Hell yeah. Alright. Got a flail. Give another guy a knife because knives are useful. Give you a hat. Alright. I'll give you a flail as well. Flails are good early game because you can hit people's heads and not knock off their body armor. Alright. So we're gonna go here. You can see you don't know what's going in. That's kind of an issue. Alright. So the way scouting works in this game is you'll have to walk up to something to see what's in it. Some things, if it's looks like a gray castle, you will never see what is in there. Other ways to see what's on it is you go up these mountains. If you go up a mountain, like gray or white, you will get a higher range view. It is night, so not really right now. But right now I could see farther, and going on top means I'll have a better chance of scouting at this location. Alright, so let's go in. Prepare for combat. Woo! Alright. So in the latest update, these camps now have supplies, like fireplaces and other things that these are obstacles, which mean you can use them to create choke points, to like herd enemies. Alright. Which makes these fights, I think, a lot more interesting, because previously this would just be like flat ground and there was no terrain. But now there's, I can use these as obstacles. Alright, so I want to identify what gear I want. This guy's deadly. Or not deadly, he's dead. He's worth nothing. I want his armor. I don't want anything he has. I want his armor if applicable. I would like that short bow, but I'm not going to farm a bow, and he has nothing. So these two can die. These three here can die. That guy can die, and I want to farm these two with knives. Alright. Who has gone? Not many. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to pass my turn so that these guys spend their turns running up. Alright. Alright. Now he's gone. Remember, I need to identify the companions I want to keep. I want to identify who's dying. The shield guys are the guys that I'm going to be throwing into the really bad positions. Alright, he's got a knife. I want this guy to die. Alright, that's fine. Did I even give him a weapon? Doesn't even have a weapon. Alright, that's bad. I do not want to take this position right here, because if I go here, 3 people are hitting me. So I don't really want that. I could go... Alright, I'm gonna send... Alright. Alright, I'm gonna take... this position, because 2 people hitting this guy is fine. Since he doesn't have a weapon, I'll just fucking shield wall. Alright, I'm gonna go here and get on the archer. This guy is gonna go here. You're gonna go here. You are gonna lock down Hogger. I don't want to go into his zone of control because that means he'll get 2 attacks with 4 AP each. Alright, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go for his head. Ignore the body armor. Alright, see there? If I walked into him, he could shield wall and attack. So I don't want that. Alright, I want to kill this guy. We're seeing the beginning of adjacency bonuses here. I had 1 friendly next to this guy, so I had a 62% chance. 2 friendlies next to this guy and a 67% chance. That's because every time you have a friendly next to a unit, you get a plus 5% chance to hit them. Alright, where is this dude here? I'm gonna go here. I definitely should have passed my turn there. That was a mistake. It means I let this guy hit him instead of the dude with the shield who I want to die. Alright, I'm gonna go for the hit there. He has riposte. Alright, fleeing, that's good. 9s to hit Hoggart. I don't want a shield wall. In fact, ooh, man. Alright, we're gonna get on top of this guy right here. And then this dude is gonna go for that. Just want to kill the archer. I'm gonna let Hoggart use his turn to hopefully hit the shield guy and not this dude. I don't really care about him either, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, you got stabbed. Good. This guy's only use is to die like that. Alright, we're gonna go for headshots. See, we're not damaging his armor, which is what we want him to do. Alright, I'm gonna bring the other... Oh, what? He has a knife. I kind of forgot he had a knife. Alright, that's we see fleeing. Now I'm gonna go for some kills here. I'm forgetting once again that this guy has a knife out. Alright. I don't really care about this guy's stuff. I should probably send someone after him. Alright, fleeing. Now the issue with fleeing, alright, I'm gonna send this guy on him. Nice. Fleeing means people will ignore attacks, they will run, like I said previously. So if you're trying to dagger someone down, what they'll do is they'll just run through your zone of control and get hit. Which is an issue, because then you're not using puncture on them, so their armor gets damaged. Alright, you don't have a dagger. So we're going to try and get a full surround on this guy. Again, I'm not really paying attention to how I'm playing that much, because this is a tutorial. But you want to be getting a full surround. I don't really want to be attacking here. Alright. Do I have a dagger here? I do, and I'm going to puncture. So beware of puncturing, because puncturing does straight up HP damage, which inflicts greater Like you see there, that does a lot of morale hits to people. Alright, I'm gonna try and, I'm gonna net this guy so he can't move. Then I'm gonna go here. Moving next to him, cause him to break. Alright. Damn. Nice. Alright. So we can see from there, we got that guy's, both his pieces of armor, and we got the 90 gear from Hogger. So, and then we got a lot of good loot from here. We got the swords, we got the daggers. That was really good overall early game fight, and we didn't lose anybody. We did kind of want to lose people, but we didn't. So I guess that's a win. That means they can die in the next fight. So you can see, this is such an upgrade. 90 gear? This guy's wearing 10. This is 9 times as effective for this dude. The best armor I think we have is this. It's this 50. 55. So we just almost doubled our best armor. So that was fantastic. And we got a 45 hat. This is our best hat here. We have a couple of 40 hats, but we have some people not wearing any headgear. So that was a total upgrade for us. Alright, and well, you can see that was such a good fight because we fought brigands. Brigands are the fights you want to be taking in the early game because you can get many upgrades like that. For probably the first like 30-50 days of your campaign, fighting brigands is going to be fantastic because they'll always have better gear than you. Brigands raiders have up to 115 armor, and then up to probably 140 helms, 115 body armor. So until you are like all stacked out in that, fighting brigands will almost always be an armor upgrade for you. And they'll also have really good weapons as well, so you can either get those weapons and sell them, or you can get them and use them and upgrade your own gear. You want to avoid fights like hunt down what terrorizes. Those are usually direwolves. Direwolves in the very early game, like day 2, direwolf would probably wipe this party right here. Fighting Natcherizers, or the ghouls, these gray ghoul corpse things, those can be deadly early game too. So the type of contracts you want to be taking are hunt down brigands, deliver cargo, I guess, if you need money, caravans for money, and like return the staff, return the statue, return this, return that. Because those are also brigand fights. You want to fight brigands. To get that gear upgrade, that is really what's going to be useful for you. Now to do contracts, you want to look for good areas. This is a decent area here. We have contracts here, 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 and here. You can probably kind of run through these cities in a circle and do contracts. A bad area would be down here, because you have this, then you go here, then you go here, then you have to like run over here, there's no road. Then you're like in all these dead ends, so you'd probably want to be doing your early game up here. It means you would get a lot of favor with this with these factions in these cities. Now the faction relations, every time you do a contract for somebody, you increase their relations. These big cities, these walled cities, are they are faction only, like noble only contracts. You can see under relations, it's only the house Roomholt. Whereas if I go to this city, I have a town relation and a faction relation, a noble relation. So I cannot do contracts in this these noble contracts yet because I'm a nobody. You know, we're on day 2, no one knows who we are. You have to get to about 1,000 renown. I'm at 115 right now. And then it'll unlock noble contracts at these big cities. So that's another reason why you want to go here. You want to go, these are all little towns, can all get contracts from them. Down here, you know, we have, this is a citadel, I believe, yeah. So I couldn't even get contracts from here. Can't get contracts from here because that's a citadel. Can't get contracts from here. So it's really bad for me to go down there right now. So I want to be staying up here and doing contracts. Remember, I want to be doing brigand contracts to get all the loot, armor upgrades. So, I think that's everything I want to talk about today. Just do a little recap. You want to look for a good map. You can find a lot of seeds online. You want ports, you want hunters' cabins, you want to find citadels and big cities that are near, you know, near trade goods and near each other, so you can do a big ring of contracts. You want to find a 100 gold piece item like this shield. So then when I go to towns, I can tell how much they're selling for. And you want to be looking for 18 and above for the really big money making. You want to take brigand contracts. You want to dagger down enemies to get their gear. And you want to use early game fodder brothers as expendable meat shields. Their only purpose is to die. So do not be afraid to lose people. They will die, but make sure it's the people you want dying and not the people that have good stars and stats. I hope this has been a helpful early game guide. I'll come out with some more in the future, and I'll see y'all around.